You are listening to the Average Pundits podcast on your favorite streaming platform.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Average Pundits podcast, your home of all things Premier League, but temporarily your home of all things England and all things Euros. We're coming at you from the third and final of the group stage game, and there it is, the England flag. Didn't know that was coming. He kept that one quiet.
It's coming home.
If you live under a rock, if you don't know who this gentleman is, it is the co-host of the Average Pundits, the ever awesome Mr. Reese Williams. How you doing, Reese?
Ever awesome is probably a stretch there, mate. But unlike our month of November, I'm actually able to grow some sort of facial hair. That is something that I've been noticing. It's because I just can't be bothered to shave.
Yeah, it's coming along quite nicely. It's coming along quite well.
For those listening on Spotify, you're missing out on this awesome wannabe David Beckham anchor beard.
There's all the more reason, if any of you are listening on your favourite streaming services, get onto YouTube as well. Give it a view and a like on there too.
You'll get to see it's very... rate my beard out of 10 in the comments.
Rate Reese's beard. Right, moving on, swiftly moving on. Yeah,
let's get away from this topic.
We are giving you our immediate reactions to the England game. England-Czech Republic ended in a 1-0 win. Raheem Sterling with the goal again. Reese, one word to sum up the performance?
It's tough to decide one word. I get that this is more than one word. Because it was... Can I go for a phrase?
I'll give you the phrase. I'll give you a phrase.
A tale of two halves.
Two halves, yeah. Okay. Definitely. I mean, from what we saw, we were watching the game together, and first half very energetic. The introduction of Jack Grealish was something that a lot of fans were looking forward to, and also a real breath of fresh air for seeing a Bukayo Saka on the pitch as well. Someone that we're both very fond of, and had a man of the match performance yesterday as well. He played absolutely out of his skin. Absolutely incredible. I mean, there were good performances all around. I was also really impressed by Luke Shaw. Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice again were impressive. Harry Maguire came back and got 90 minutes under his belt, which was really good to see. There were a lot of positives. And we're going to need all the positives we can get going into the round of 16, because we have got a few options, and none of them look particularly enticing. I believe, Reese, those options are
France, Germany. I can't do a Portuguese accent. But we've got. Or to be fair, we could also have Hungary too.
Yeah, we could do.
If things go our way today at 8:00, then we could be facing Hungary. If Germany lose to Hungary today and France gets slaughtered, we could be seeing Hungary in the round of 16 against England, and we could have a free trip to the quarterfinals.
The country will be watching behind sofas, behind pillows, behind their beds. Everyone's going to be watching very nervously to see what's going to happen. But we'll talk about the game that we just saw in preparation for what we've got coming forward. We mentioned that first half, that introduction to Jack Grealish and Saka, and a lot of England fans have been crying out for it. And Southgate, clearly this game was the game he wanted to give it a test out on, and it worked. We played Jack Grealish as, straight down the middle, and we saw a lot of creativity there. I think that was where we struggled in the first two opening games. I think we didn't have enough creativity on the pitch. Not enough balls are being fed through to the attackers. It was a fantastic bit of play leading up to that first goal, an assist for Jack Grealish, another goal for Raheem Sterling, 2 goals now for Sterling, which is really good to see. He could be the unlikely hero of the Euros. We have a lot of talented players, but could it be Sterling?
Well, to be fair, another name, obviously we've mentioned him a couple of times, but another name to mention in that kind of goal was Saka, who I think I mentioned this at the time. He was able to get the defender up in the air by going for the header, leaving Raheem Sterling completely wide open to get the header. So I feel like that's one of the main, one of the important things. Obviously, the cross and the header was great, but to get the defender in the air and lure the other defender away from Raheem Sterling, who never normally wins headers. So he's probably one of the most unlikely candidates. I mean, we saw from the corner against Scotland, John Stones. One of the you'd expect Harry Maguire or John Stones, maybe even like a Jordan Henderson or a Calvin Phillips to get on the end of a header.
Yeah.
Whereas Raheem Sterling, he's small built. He's a small build.
Yeah, definitely.
So
It was interesting to see. I mean, realistically, we haven't seen the best of the attackers so far. We just haven't. I mean, Sterling's got 2 goals under his belt. Obviously scored in the opening game. Good to see him get on the score sheet. Second game wasn't just Sterling, but no one was really available in that second game against Scotland. It was pretty poor. And then in this third game, obviously Sterling pops up and with the heroics once again. But we're still yet to see the best of Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Calvert-Lewin, Harry Kane, Saka himself. Really, we've still yet to really see the full works of Saka. And there's loads of creativity which we're hoping to still see out of the team. You know, it was obviously Jordan Henderson got a run out in the game, but you know, good to see him.
he almost scored.
Oh, he did almost score an offside, but you know, but he got a run out in the game. You know, we've been seeing a lot more of Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice, which has been awesome to see. You know, we're starting to see quite a lot of the team now, which is really good. Obviously, Chilwell and Mount are currently isolating, and we hope that, you know, things are going to come back okay for them. Hopefully, we will be able to use them at some point for the rest of this tournament, because they're 2 players that are going to be vital going forward. But I mean, I was talking about the attack before I went off on that tangent, but obviously the goals only coming from Sterling. How big a problem is that for us going into this round of 16?
Massively, because Kane confidence is in the mud, isn't it? Looking at some of the ratings from, you know, LC, BBC, ITV and stuff, Kane is the second lowest rated player from that the game against the Czech Republic. That's poor because he played pretty much the entire way. Did he? I don't think he got substituted off, did he? So
I don't believe so. No, I think he kept him on the whole game to try and get him that goal.
And, you know, he's averaging below a 5 on, you know, the BBC, only above Marcus Rashford, who was subbed on. You know, Sancho came on and got a higher rating. Jude Bellingham got a higher rating from midfield. I mean, obviously you got the attackers that did get the high ratings, and, you know, Sterling and Grealish, and then obviously the man of the match performance from Saka. We're just lacking the penetration from Kane. You know, we're not getting in the ball, and when we do get in the ball, he's getting frustrated with himself because he can't finish. He had that great chance, and I think it got too much. It got too much for him. He cuts inside, goes for the finesse, and apologies for the pronunciation of the. I think it's Valclick.
Yeah,
Valclick.
So. Yeah.
For the Czech Republic, the goalkeeper. He's the number 1 for Sevilla. He has to face Antoine Griezmann, Luis Suarez, Lionel Messi. He has to face all these world-class players. So he's not going to be a slouch in goal. He knows where a world-class striker is going to try and put the ball.
Yeah.
So in that split second, it showed Kane's decision-making, and it wasn't great, because either, you know, obviously he could have another instance where he could have squared it to Sterling, or he could have easily, you know, stuck it at the near post. And, you know, maybe the defender might have got a block on it, but it seemed like a near post shot might have been the way to go, because it's diving at the keeper's weaker side.
He definitely sent the defender the right way. I mean, with the step, and then, you know, I agree with you in that situation. You know, tight angle, it's going to be tough to get around it. But obviously, like you said, bit easy to underestimate that keeper. You know, a top class La Liga keeper, he's going to be on top of his game. I think I mentioned this to you yesterday whilst we were watching it, but a bit of a theoretical question now. Obviously, you've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin sat on the bench. Had a really good season with Everton. Injury definitely got in the way, but he did have a good season with Everton when he was playing. A really big aerial threat, Calvert-Lewin, and also just a really good goal poacher. Every minute Kane starts, every minute Kane's on the pitch, you know, we tend to play with the one striker. It means Calvert-Lewin isn't exactly getting the game time. I think he only came on for a little bit in the Croatia game. I don't think we've really seen anything of him since. Whilst we're sticking with Kane and waiting for this goal, waiting for these, you know, goals and assists to come in, is this a detriment to Calvert-Lewin? Because he could be primed and ready to go on the bench. You know, his confidence, or his belief in himself, seeing, you know, the strikers and the attackers on the pitch currently not scoring, his belief in himself has got to be rising, thinking, look, Gaffer, get me on. I can change this game. But, you know, is not subbing on Calvert-Lewin to try and get Kane these goals, is it a detriment to the rest of the squad?
No, because, I mean, whilst Kane isn't getting the goals, and whilst his confidence might be low, he is still the guy, I believe, that could get to, you know, you keep Kane on in case there is a decisive moment. You know, if there's a penalty, Kane's stepping up to take it. You know, if he gets the ball in the box and it falls to him, Say if Sterling gets the ball in the box, it falls to him. There's maybe a 75% chance he'll score. Kane, if it drops to him and he's got a really easy chance, he's going to stick the ball in the back of the net because he has the technique to put it in the net. I think that right foot or left foot as well. Where, Sterling, if he gets a left-footed shot in the box, it's probably going to either be hit straight to keeper or go wide or over or something. He's not the best with his left foot, is he? Whereas Kane can shoot with both feet. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I feel like he hasn't had to be tested that much in those real tough situations, especially now going into the round of 16 where we're going to face tough opposition. Kane was there in the group stage of the World Cup too. He was scoring penalties. He was there against Sweden, against Colombia. We needed Kane in those moments. Whereas Calvert-Lewin, while he is an aerial threat and he is more mobile than Harry Kane, I don't think he's got it's kind of like a microwave in a sense. Like you get hot towards the end, you kind of just have to keep going. And I don't know whether he comes up in clutch moments. He doesn't have that like ice in his veins, if you get what I mean. I don't think DCL has that in his locker. I think that he comes on thinking, oh, this is a big opportunity. Whereas he's been there, he's done that. He's got to a semi-final of a World Cup.
Yeah.
Kane needs to believe in himself. But then also, I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin, mate, he should have had more of a chance in the group stages.
Yeah, well, I mean, semi-final of a World Cup, Champions League final at club level. Kane definitely, he is that guy. He is that able. He has that ability, and I don't think anyone would deny that. But I think it is frustrating because I also really like Calvert-Lewin, and I agree that Kane's got to be a guy. He does have to be the guy going forward. But I also think that you do have to ask. Hindsight's a great thing, and you have to ask those what ifs because every minute that Rashford hasn't had a run out, or Sancho hasn't run out, or Saka even till now. I mean, look at the performance Saka gave yesterday. I mean, imagine if we had that against Scotland. Could have been going into this, into the round of 16 with three wins under our belt.
Well, to be fair, if we'd have had Saka in the second game and we would have come out with a win against Scotland, then we would have been able to change it up in the third game. We would have been able to play DCL up front. Would have been able to test out maybe a new keeper, a few new centre backs, maybe try out one holding midfielder, and play other people. I mean, to be fair, we technically played that yesterday for a little bit.
Yeah.
When Jordan Henderson came on, Calvin Phillips sat as the holding DM, and we played a bit more attacking, which it was more positive than the Croatia game, although it was scored way early on, so it was just drab from the second half onwards.
Yeah.
But we could have tested it up yesterday if we'd have put away Scotland. But again, Gareth Southgate doesn't really know his strongest squad.
Well, it's going to be a bit of an interesting one now going forward because, like you said, Sterling's been the goal scorer, so the likely choice is he's going to stick with Sterling with that experience, and he's been the one bagging the goal, so you could understand that. Harry Kane, he's probably going to be sticking with Kane because you want to get Kane firing. And then on the right now you've got a question, haven't you? Because realistically, we've seen a few iterations on that right side now. We've still barely seen Sancho, but Saka just came in and gave that amazing performance yesterday. So I think whoever starts against whoever we face in the round of 16 is going to be very interesting because the three likely teams that we're going to face are obviously France, Germany, or Portugal. So whoever we start, I don't think they're all of a similar level of caliber of opponents. So I don't think it's going to change based on the team. They all have strong defenders. They all have strong attackers. They're all a good core team.
There are definite weaknesses for all teams.
Yeah. There's definitely holes that you can pick out.
Well, I don't know about the France team.
Yeah, France are well-rounded, but
they're world class in every single sector.
You got they are on paper they definitely are. But then again, I'd argue the same in Germany. I really would.
They've got a few flaws in the centre back region. Matt Hummels is a bit old. Ginter's not as good as he used to be.
Rudiger's probably their number one guy.
Rudiger's good, but he's prone to giving away fouls and stuff, isn't he? And he's too hot-headed, I think Rudiger is.
You've got Portugal as well, who realistically is probably,
they've got a 38-year-old centre back,
but they also have, I know Ruben Diaz obviously has had an own goal at this Euros, but
and they conceded what was it, 3 or 4? Was it 4 by the end of it?
Yeah.
They conceded 4.
It,
That
I mean,
defense is awful.
it shows that you can pick up on it. I mean, like Cancelo, Diaz, and Guerrero. I mean, they're all. I mean, so especially Cancelo and Guerrero. They're extremely attacking players. So
Guerrero's a left. He's been converted from a CAM to a left mid and then to a left back. Where's this
yeah.
come from?
Well, I mean, the guy's clearly, he can play a bit of everywhere, can't he? But
Yeah, but evidently, according to the Germany game, he couldn't play left back. Did you see how badly most of the crosses came from Guerrero's side? He was beaten that much on that right hand side, and it just shows how weak he is in that position.
The majority of the team in that game were poor. It was a very odd game. It's such a contrast to what you normally associate him with.
Which is a really key point, because if we do get Portugal in this group in the round of 16, we need a key player on that right hand side, which goes back to your point as to who we play on that right hand side in the round of 16.
Yeah, and God knows we've got competence. We've got plenty of competence in that team. You can obviously, you'll have Saka and Sancho ready to go. You'll have Rashford who could do a job. You'll have Sterling who is always capable of switching it up. But we're not going to be anywhere short of talent. But it's going to be tough. I don't know what Southgate's going to do. I've been really impressed with Rice and Calvin Phillips. I think our core midfield, I doubt will change very much. Obviously, Mason Mount is a doubt. It's just unlikely we're probably going to have him, which is definitely a loss. But maybe just Henderson slots back in if he's feeling up to it. There's options. I think the defense is pretty much more nailed on. You're probably going to be expecting to see Shaw, Stones, and Maguire, and then at right back probably is going to be Walker.
Probably Walker, yeah. Yeah, you'd probably go with Walker. To be fair, I was confident in the back line yesterday.
Yeah, it looked good.
It was fine. It was formidable. Maguire obviously looked comfortable. Stones then looked comfortable because he had another competent centre back.
Yeah.
Obviously he got a bit gassed up, so he had to be taken off for Tyrone Mings. But Kyle Walker then also looked defensively capable because he had Maguire. Same with Shaw. Shaw was able to get up as well.
So Shaw was making some crosses yesterday.
That's what we're going to need, though. We need Kane to get amongst the goals through headers and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Shaw almost got an assist as well because of his crossing game. So that's something that Walker does lack.
Yeah.
Compared to that left hand side, so we can get a cross in from Luke Shaw attacking on the left side. Then we need that right winger. Whoever we put on that right wing is going to have to be able to cross, and I don't know if we have that in a right winger at the moment.
I don't know. I personally in this game coming up, I've got a feeling he may start Saka again, and then
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
And then maybe if we go up, then maybe bring in Sancho to get closer into the striker, because Sancho's got an eye for goal as well. He's really good at his feet. Saka's definitely got crossing ability, which is something that is definitely needed, especially for Kane and Calvert-Lewin as the kind of strikers they are. But I'll round this up by asking a little kind of question here now. It's rough again, but if you had to face anyone in this round of 16, who would you face and why? And who would you least rather face after?
Well, to be fair, I'll kind of use this to we can kind of break down each of the teams very kind of briefly, but I think Germany would be my most favoured out of the bunch. We've got or would they? I'm scared of Renato Sanchez facing our DMs. I'm scared of Ronaldo facing Harry Maguire, if I'm being honest. I'm more scared of Portugal's penetration than Germany's.
Yeah.
Because we can defend across. We have centre backs that are competent enough. Germany don't have the fastest players, and we've got Kyle Walker and Luke Shaw to deal with those. Whereas through the centre, Cristiano Ronaldo is very, very fast, and Bruno Fernandes can pick out a pass through the middle at any point. He can loophole it. So I'm scared. Maguire has shown time and time again that if you play balls through the middle, he's not quite quick enough to deal with that. He's fantastic in the air. He's great at duels, but he's not quite good at tracking back and marking the run of the defender.
And I don't think Stones really contrasts that particularly. Or Stones, very competent, but I don't think he is blessed for speed, is he?
No, that's what I was saying. We could have potentially taken Aaron Wan-Bissaka to this tournament and played Kyle Walker in the centre back position. That's what I would do, because Kyle Walker has blistering pace. and maybe even play Aaron Wan-Bissaka at the centre back with Kyle Walker. That's what Manchester United potentially could do next season, and put Trippier at right back, and then we have another crosser on that right hand side. We got two very, very fast centre backs, and then we go from there. But we got two guys that can win crosses in the air, and that's why I think Germany would probably be the more favoured, because they love to put a ball in. They're playing Joshua Kimmich at that left hand side, which I think that Sterling will probably be given a really rough game. But I do think that Kane could probably compete with Rudiger and Matt Hummels, and also Ginter as well. So I think that the Germans are probably. I mean, obviously, my least favorite team is France.
Yeah,
I don't want to. You've got Hugo Lloris in goal, who is arguably still world class. The only player that I would probably say is their weakness is their right back in Benjamin Pavard, and that's about it. I mean, centre backs. Kim Pembe he's phenomenal. Of course, I got N'Golo Kante. Whereas I can't remember who said it. I think it was Cantona or something like that. It said 70% of the world is covered by the sea, and the rest is covered by N'Golo Kante.
I don't know if it was anyone specific. I just, you've seen that dotted around so much now, that quote.
It's true. He's everywhere. And N'Golo Kante makes Paul Pogba dangerous.
I mean, Kante was who I predicted to be my player of the tournament at the start of this, because I just feel like it was written in the stars. He won the Champions League.
He's the front runner for the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
He's an insane player. And obviously their attack is unbelievable. You got Benzema, who is a natural born, centre forward. Kylian Mbappe, who is not human. Let's be honest, he's not human. His pace against Matt Hummels was one of the most impressive things I've seen in this entire tournament so far. Like that game against Germany, he ran the show. And it's just, Pogba comes out and he obviously with Manchester United, he doesn't have that N'Golo Kante type player to help him look world class. If they get that, then Pogba will look world class at club level. But for France, everyone's like, oh, he loves playing for France. He only puts it on when he plays for France. That's because he has Kante covering his back. He can pull out the flashy stuff. Yeah. So it's, and I was going to say Ousmane Dembele, but he's had to pull out the tournament with an injury. So I think France is my least favorite. I mean, arguably I'd like to play Hungary, but we can't do that. Well, we might be able to, but
never know.
Portugal or Germany, it's kind of a toss-up between the two. Yeah. They both have their own weaknesses. Portugal have an aging centre back. Semedo's not been playing great. He didn't play well at all against Germany. The midfield, Renato Sanchez comes on. I don't know why he doesn't start. He's been fantastic. João Moutinho, he's aging as well. Ronaldo's aging, but I don't think our centre backs could stop him. And Jota as well. Jota's a good player, but I think Kyle Walker probably could have the beating of him, because he can deal with his pace. It just depends on how they line up and how they plan to beat us, because we're very good at sitting back and controlling the possession. Portugal are very good at counter-attacking, but Germany also play the same style as us. So if we play Germany, it'll be a battle of the same style. So who's going to be the one to counter-attack? It's going to be a dangerous game.
I mean, I think on my end, I definitely agree with you. I don't want to face France, time and time again, all the stuff on their team, everywhere, every position. It's just levels of talent of absolutely. And that like all the young players, they're going to be around for ages. And that the more, experience. But I mean, even players like Kim Pembe is still such a young player. But, the amount of experience he's had at Champions League level, at club level and country is crazy. I mean, in terms of my least favorite, I might agree with you in going for Germany, really. Portugal do scare me because their defense, genuinely, it did look rubbish, but their attack has been crazy, And also, I feel like, they were shown up defensively, but I feel like they could easily pull it together again. I mean, Ruben Diaz was like Premier League Player of the Season last year, and obviously Guerrero and Cancelo and these kind of players, they are still, absolute, monsters really when they want to be. Not sure about Semedo. I don't really believe in that guy's hype, but like Germany, I feel like they can be exposed. We've done it before. They've definitely done it before to us. We've done it before to them. I feel like if we approach that the right way, especially with all of the young, blistering talent that we've got now, it will be good. I think if we go against Germany, we play almost potentially the same lineup we played in the last game. And I think, honestly, we'd go into that hungry to get something out of it. It's
see what he did there. See what he did.
But it's all about unlocking Kane. That's what we've got to do. And I think that's what we're both, very keen for, as well as every other England fan. But anyone watching this, anyone listening to this, a short one today, we wanted to give you our immediate reactions. And of course, we will be back again very soon talking about the round of 16 tie. So let us know your opinions. Let us know. Comment below on the YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube. Give it a subscribe and a like whilst you're there, please. It really does help us an awful lot. And if you listen to this on your favorite streaming platform, whether it be Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from, give us a little follow on there. And if you want to interact with us on our social media, on Facebook and Instagram, we're The Average Pundits, and on Twitter, we're Pundits Average. And to ever inquire about being on the show or any potential other inquiries, we are The Average Pundits at outlook.com. So like I said, myself and Reese will both be back next week with potentially, a very interesting episode. We're going to know very soon who we're going to face. So it'll be very exciting. But Reese, as always, thank you for joining me.
I would say it'll probably be another immediate reactions because we do play on Tuesday. We play next Tuesday, 5 o'clock kickoff. So we will probably record the podcast after the game, give our immediate thoughts to either us getting through to the quarterfinals, or by this time next week we will be out of the tournament. So please stay tuned for that. Subscribe, turn the notification bells. Make sure you come back for our reaction. It'll be immediate. It'll be out, and we'll get it to you. Same time, same place next week. Be there or be squared.
Indeed. Thank you very much, guys. As always, we will see you next time.